Mary had a little lamb, one and one make two, candles all.
Harlow is a 1965 biopic directed by Alex Segal and starring Carol Lynley, Efrem Zimbalist Jr., Barry Sullivan, Hurd Hatfield, Jack Kruschen, and Ginger Rogers. I really hope this is better than Wired. Link in the description. Hollywood.
I am dying of hunger.
Buddy, who is she?
I don't know.
Fuck you, I'm a star.
And French fries.
Kill a cow, Francis.
Then I'll have 2 scoops of ice cream.
Second.
And chopped malt.
Did that waiter just pull a Jim Halpert? Thirst.
Hello, Mark. Put your eyes back in your head.
What the fuck? You couldn't have just said the guy was Al Jolson? You've been scammed. Jean returns home to her loving family.
What is all this foolishness? She could have worked today.
If you were any kind of a man, she wouldn't have to work.
Burn. The discussion gets to the brink of domestic violence and Jean leaves. Mark attempts to get a piece of ass, but gets a quick exposition dump instead.
My mother didn't think so. That's why she ran away with Marino. My real father's a dentist in Kansas City, a good one. See? No cavities.
Hey, Thelma!
Yeah?
Mr. Martin wants to know how soon he can start.
This is the lowest volume of my voice. Then we get into a broad discussion that takes way too long. The screen test goes well.
He's dead?
Ah!
Are you fucking serious?
I was lousy, wasn't I?
Yep. She notices Bill on set who talked shit about her previously, so she decides to go full Karen.
Oh, what's the use? I can't do it, not with him here. It's not fair. First you put me in this straitjacket, and then he shows up and puts the evil eye on me.
You're trying to do something you're not suited for. Why don't you find yourself a husband, raise a family, and forget all about Hollywood?
And
Whoa!
why don't you forget to watch out the next time you cross a busy street? Who appointed you God anyway?
That's a threat. Jean has a moment with Mom, then Stepdad arrives to fuck things up.
No consideration. How can I get any sleep with all these racket? People walking around slamming doors, playing music.
It looks like it's daylight. What the hell were you doing? Sleeping till noon? Oh, hi, Mark.
I thought you might like to know, you got the part.
Bullshit.
I don't care anything about money. All I want is a chance to prove to Mr. William Mansfield that I am an actor.
Shh. It's a hit because we're treated to multiple marquees.
One of the marks that serve it to you, Miss Harlow, is attending press conferences. It isn't often that a star is born overnight, created by one role.
Who's Bill? Is he like an asshole Jiminy Cricket running around dropping sage advice? Jean storms out and Bill follows to harass her some more. Then we go full soap opera.
I didn't know it mattered that much to you, Miss Harlow. I'm sorry.
Mom arrives.
You're an American institution. Like the Grand Canyon.
After one movie?
All of the people in the whole world will know the name Jean Harlow.
So much so that that name will be on 2 movies released in the same year. Thanks for fucking confusing me. Bathtub, barrel, mud, gambling. She's had with all that shit and goes over the director's head.
Fire me, sue me, blacklist me. I won't do it.
Will you excuse me, please?
Have you met William Mansfield?
Burns schmoozes her, and I bet he convinces her to do whatever she doesn't want to do.
You know, they say that religion is the opiate of the people. But I think for the modern world, America particularly, sex is the opiate of the people.
Sure.
I'll go back to work, Mr. Burns.
See, he got her to do it. Well, I guess money does buy happiness. Jean and Paul tease marriage, which the parents aren't too sure about, until nepotism gets thrown in as a dowry.
We're going to live in his place, and you and Mama can live here. And he also thinks you should have a job at the studio so you'll have an income.
If your motive is blackmail, I am not a person to be intimidated.
Did someone say blackmail?
I know what I'm talking about. I'm Paul Burns' mistress.
How are you his mistress if he's not married?
I'm not his mistress in the usual sense. Oh, he supports me. He visits me. But there has never been anything physical in our relationship.
Then why is he paying you?
He can't help the way he is. He's been everywhere for help. He's tried medicine, psychiatry. He just isn't capable.
Oh, he has a limp dick. He's paying that hush money because of that.
I brought some letters. I thought... I don't believe a word of this. I don't believe a word of this.
And she's tossed. Jean and Paul are married as old Peter Griffin looks on. Who invited this asshole? That night, it looks like the soldier did not come to attention. Hey, Paul, I think your record's a little warped. That'll do it. Thanks.
Because I'm the hottest number in the United States. Because 150 million men would like to tear the clothes off my back. You thought I could work a little therapy on you? The all-American pushover might make a man out of you.
Great wedding night. I bet she's going to go look for some batteries. Down at the illicit gambling establishment, Jean gets carried away, and is Bill fucking stalking her? He mansplains some more, then enters a gigolo.
Don't you think we should order some orange blossoms? This is my wedding night.
Whoa! At home, Paul looks for some common ground with Jean.
I don't know what private demons you have to exorcise. They haunt you, I know that.
Don't give me any of that intellectual crap. I fell for it once. I need something else now.
Yeah, dick.
Please, I don't know where you go night after night, but I'm afraid for you. Don't go tonight.
And she leaves. Who hangs a gun like this in their house? Anyway, he's dead. L.B. Mayer shows up as concerned, but here's a fucking script.
Many people will be laid off. Some even lose their jobs permanently. I'm sure that Jean wouldn't want that to happen.
Guilt.
It has been weeks. It is not as if she really loved Byrne. I am laying down the law to her. She is going to start studying this script right now.
Shut up! Shut up! You have no heart.
You will never speak to me like this again.
She's been talking to you like that for the entire movie.
Well, you can't go on like this. Paul wouldn't have wanted it.
How do you know what Paul would have wanted?
A boner. The parents continue depressing her, so she goes gambling. But she's broke, and the man whore leaves. Then this lady comes in, and she sounds kind of like Dudley Moore.
You've got vitality. And something very few people have. Honesty. Way down deep, you're good.
It's a bounce-back speech for Jean, who decides to make some changes.
You and Marino are going to be very busy looking for a place to live. I'm going to sell this house, and if there's anything left over after the mortgage is paid off, I'll need it to live on. Oh, and I'm selling my furs and my jewelry, too. I mean, the ones that are paid for.
This guy's gonna snap.
About the studio. You owe the money. They've advanced you a lot. They can go to hell.
Damn the man! She leaves Hollywood and is chilling with this German lady.
Do you think I'll ever learn?
No.
I got another letter from Mama today. Now she says she's ill. She said she needs me.
What are you going to do?
Stay here and work.
Yeah, to hell with your mom. Then she leaves to see her mom. And Jean goes back to work.
May I speak to you for a moment?
Look, I'm having a nice day. Don't spoil it for me.
Bill is the Forrest Gump of Jean Harlow's life. He's everywhere. Guys, there's a room right over there. You don't have to climb up into that shithole.
I seem to remember the day when you went in more for, right hooks.
I'm sorry about that.
They're going to fall in love. There it is. Then we're right back on set, and Jean seems sick, but decides to climb the scaffolding to talk to some crew.
The key to the scene is irony. The taste of irony must be in both of you.
Tastes like chicken. They work the scene, kiss, and she drops.
I don't believe in giving false hope. There is no hope.
I've got to go.
Great bedside manner, Doc. Bill goes in and blatantly lies.
Doctor says you can make it.
You're lying.
Well, at least she's fresh now. Is she dead because her eyelids are twitching? Because of a lurid Jean Harlow biography published in the early 1960s, there were 2 films released in 1965, both with the name Harlow. I couldn't figure out which one actually ran on Up All Night, so I picked what looked like the shittiest one because I hate myself. This film was shot in 8 days with some kind of TV to film system, and it shows. It feels like a soap opera with a ton of overacting and a bunch of cliches. And most of this film is Jean Harlow getting advice, which is usually bad. And by meeting number 2, you know Bill and Jean are going to fall in love. This is another cash grab because Jean Harlow was in the news, so they just went right for it. But at the end of the day, this movie is uninspired trash.
But we gotta get somebody to finish the picture.